At a press conference, the police department chief announced the dismantling of a criminal gang in the cliff section.
A total of 15 people were captured during this operation conducted by the National Police, which led to the dismantling of an organized criminal group.
Gracias a un trabajo articulado.
Thanks to a joint work between the criminal investigation personnel and intelligence personnel, we were able to advance an investigation that allowed us to completely dismantle a group of organized crime here in the sector of the Cliff neighborhood. This gang was dedicated to the sale of narcotics. For us, it is very important to show this result. First, because more than 15 people were prosecuted, and second, because we are largely ending in the neighborhood micro-trafficking.
The commander states that they will continue with the investigation corresponding to these captures. Likewise, it was stated that they conducted 8 raids in conjunction with the Attorney General's Office of the nation, thus generating a major intervention in this sector of the island and the seizure of narcotics.
An important agreement was reached between Coralina and INVEMAR for a joint work in the study of blue carbon.
Within the framework of the FEMA Environmental Fair, an agreement was signed between Coralina and INVEMAR for the study of blue carbon. In this regard, the director of Coralina, Arne Britton, said the following.
Within the framework of the International Environmental Forum, we have just signed an inter-administrative agreement with INVEMAR. The purpose of this agreement is to initiate the process of identifying and researching the blue carbon stock in the islands of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina within our Sea Flower Biosphere Reserve.
This initiative is expected to provide the first conclusions of soil carbon.
We will start with the mangrove system. We will be the first corporation to initiate a research process to know what is the stock of blue carbon within the mangrove system in order to make decisions and establish a route on the issue of blue carbon that will serve as a reference, an indicator of how the state of the mangroves are.
It is worth noting that although blue carbon is not visible, its storage is critical to the health of the planet.
Residents of Santana neighborhood told Teleislas News about the situation they're going through due to the constant settling of rainwater.
The constant rains leave settled waters in some sectors, mainly in the center of the island. This is precisely the case of the Santana neighborhood, where the settled waters reflect a serious problem in terms of rainwater drainage system.
This situation affects us a lot because every time it rains, it is full of water. There are a lot of mosquitoes and the water is green. We get sick with fungus on our feet. It's a problem that will never change. Every time the governors come, they say that they're going to fix it, and none of them had fixed it.
El único paso que tiene esta gente aquí es ese pedacito.
The only passage these people have here is that little piece. Look at how they juggle to get out of there. They have to put stones, pieces of sticks, and the mosquito net that is there, and rats.
Este problema ha estado de toda una vida.
This problem has been there all our life. No elections are coming, and the politicians promise and promise. They talk nice, and nobody ever fulfills anything. It really seems that the only one who can do something for us is God, because all of them go there to steal, nothing else. We are tired of that.
Nosotros le pedimos al gobierno que nos arregle la calle.
We are asking the government to fix the street for us. Do you think this is fair? The children from the Cocal have to pass through here and look how bad the water is, and every rainy season it is like this.
According to the inhabitants of this sector, this is a problem that has been prolonged over time, and they call on the departmental administration to provide a solution. In consideration of this situation, Teleislas News will take the necessary steps to obtain a response from the departmental government.
We will now present the conditioning of Carrera Transit road after the constant non-conformity of the community regarding the poor conditions of the road, communicating more than 5 neighborhoods in that section.
After complaints and protests from the inhabitants of the Luxbike neighborhood, the road is being improved by filling it. The holes and ditches that hinder access and transportation of the inhabitants of this community. So we talked to Abel Archibald, Secretary of Infrastructure, to tell us more about this issue.
Regarding to Carrera Transit, we can already see the progress. We have divided in 2 large sections from the main road to where Aquaworks begin. We are waiting for the availability of some sub-base material to get the second section that's going goes from Aqua Works to the end. That is the process we are in. We can already see the progress, and we hope to continue to get the sub-basis material.
Additionally, we spoke with the inhabitants of the sector regarding the progress of the adaptation process and the non-conformities, and this is their opinion.
De acuerdo es porque están echando barro.
I don't agree because they are throwing mud, and we as people want them to throw asphalt. We don't want pavement, but we want a dignified street. We don't want a mockery because those who live here is people.
And in other news, in an interview with Teleislas News, the member of the RISEL team, Kent Francis, who accompanied Colombia defense in Hague, he gives us a recap of his participation.
After the conclusion of the oral hearings on the third lawsuit that the Central American country filed against Colombia related to violation of sovereign rights and maritime spaces in the Caribbean Sea, we spoke with leader Kent Francis, who gave us a recap of his intervention.
This was like something we had to do from the very beginning. Like from when this case started in 2001, we people went for the upfront. So now we get the chance and we did it. We put ourselves in front of all the judges from the International Court of Justice in The Hague. And for them, it's clear that we are a people. We are a people different from the average of people from both sides. And we are in the midst of this conflict and this decision they have to make. So what we're looking for is that we being considered directly as the people that have been over centuries using and ruling over these seas.
On what's next in the process, the leader states,
we have to wait now on a few months. Then we make their intern considerations and they will figure their decisions to bring out a ruling. And then when that comes, then the two parties will be called upon to go and listen to the ruling that this international court will do for us.
Let's remember that during Kent Francis' historic address, the leader made known the importance that the sea has historically for the RISEL people, as well as the food security that it provides to the islanders.
The departmental ESE delivered a balance sheet on how the vaccination plan against COVID-19 is advancing on the island.
The archipelago continues to increase its efforts to achieve the vaccination of the entire population in the islands. It is for this reason that the departmental essay delivered a report on how the national vaccination plan against COVID-19 is going in the stages of pregnant women and young people between ages 12 to 18.
So far, the assessments regarding the population of pregnant women is as follows. We have vaccinated 248 pregnant women from 12 weeks of gestation to 40 days postpartum. And young people with comorbidities, we have vaccinated 79 young people so far. Young people without comorbidities is the largest population immunized at the moment. We have vaccinated 1,514 people.
The departmental essay has announced that the application of the third booster dose for people over 70 years of age is already underway.
Already here in San Andres, we start to vaccinate the third booster doses. Those people who are already complete 6 months after their second vaccination, mainly in the population of 70 years old. At the moment, the people who have come to us for the third dose have been vaccinated with the same dose that was applied in the first and second dose. However, according to the ministry, there might be interchangeability of the biological with the Moderna and Pfizer.
The departmental essay indicated that the vaccination points are enabled with biological so that the whole community comes to complete the scheme.
And after another weekend with economical opening in the island, these are the indicators of COVID-19 in the archipelago.
Last weekend, 6 new positive cases for COVID-19 were evidenced in the archipelago, of which 3 of them are male and 3 female. In that sense, since the pandemic began in Colombia, the island archipelago has 6,878 cases identified. A little more than 83,802 doses have been applied in San Andres, one of the departments of the country with more vaccine inhabitants, according to the national government and the Ministry of Health.
Now let's learn about other facts that are news here in our archipelago today in our briefings.
The Ombudsman's Office, in coordination with the local government, conducted the strategy I Belong, an initiative that seeks that the elderly of the island express their complaints in relation to the spaces where they live in order to establish solutions and provide healthy spaces for the elderly. The activity was conducted with the adults of the club and golden fraternities. The departmental government described as successful the event, Mobility for Life, where children were able to enjoy healthy recreational spaces. Talks were given to drivers about the importance of driving with caution, and a health brigade was also developed.
And let's continue now to the weather forecast of today. The weather forecast for today, October 4th, in the coastal area of the archipelago, the sky is mainly cloudy. The temperature is 28 degrees centigrade with winds from northeast direction with intensities of 8 kilometers per hour, humidity forecast of 82%, and with a precipitation of 53%. And this is all for now. See you tonight at 8 p.m. in our central broadcast of Teleislas News. Goodbye.